This is Sam Putnam.
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 If you missed Nvidia, this stock is next. Nvidia just invested $100 billion in OpenAI yesterday. Of course, OpenAI is going to turn around and spend that money on Nvidia chips. But we are not the technocrat masters of the universe. We are just the peons looking for stock opportunities. And the stock that is next is CLS, Celestica. It is implicated in AI and connected to OpenAI. Let's take a look at the chart and talk about how that connection exists. No pun intended, because they literally connect chips together. This is the ticker. This is the chart. Celestica looks like it's poised to go up. Okay. Has had a big move up in September already, and we'll talk about what happened there and that connection to Broadcom. This is the Broadcom chart, and there it is right after earnings in early September. Also had a jump there. Of course, we can't bring up the OpenAI chart because OpenAI is not publicly traded. A lot of people are seeing this Nvidia investment as suddenly it's a proxy to invest in OpenAI, given that Nvidia just invested up to $100 billion in OpenAI. That up to is significant. That is to be invested over 6 years. CLS, though, looks like it has the clearest risk reward at this time. It's rare you see a stock with so many compressed days like we see right here. I'd love to give a glowing analysis of why this exact moment is the right time fundamentally to buy this stock. But a lot of times what we do in the stock market is we throw up our hands and we say, you know what? There's millions of people, there's hundreds of funds with over $100 million that are moving the stock and others around on a day-to-day basis. And what we get to do is we get to just ambiguate all that and say, this is the outcome of all of those investments. This chart that we see right here, we get in somewhere around the compressed days, around the 250 whole dollar level, or we risk that level, and then you can make $10, $20, $30 and up to the upside. Is it always going to go up? No. But we are at all-time highs, and right now looks like a pretty interesting time to get even higher. Technically, all-time highs are 262, okay? So we did touch that and then came down a little bit, but of course, the day we're recording this, the SPY also went down, so that's not surprising. This is relative strength to the market, though, when you have a green day on a day that the market's red, and it's not surprising given all of this sort of agreement on this being the price. As soon as that agreement is no longer the case, people are either going to decide this is worth more or it's worth less, and it looks like people are thinking it's worth more. So that's the bull case for Celestica, and I do respect that we do want to know, what is going on? What are we buying? Can I throw this in my investing account? Throw some of my 401k, my IRA, whatever it is, into it and feel like it's somewhat prudent? And I would say, yeah, this is what they do. Electronics manufacturing services. Okay, they design chips, manufacture sort of chip processes, and they serve all the big sectors because all the big sectors need basically electrical components. Of course, they are connected to AI as a result. High performance networking is their role. Networking is pretty low level, which means it's picks and shovels, okay, for Nvidia. So it's not going away anytime soon. And these are the peers, okay? The most important peers are not necessarily going to be these tickers, which are relatively unknown because, again, networking is not very sexy. It's just not, but it is necessary. And we can see its peers are doing pretty well as well. I do think you don't necessarily want to buy a chart like Flex. It's a little gappy for me personally. CLS does move about twice as much too per day. This is over a rolling 10-day period that I have this, but that's good because you do want to jump into stocks that move. Otherwise, why not just get into GE, and make 10% in a month in an unpredictable fashion. So that's why we're looking at stocks that move. And a little more information about this company that's relevant is this is the buzzword of the year, okay? Hyperscalers and AI data centers, okay? So OpenAI is seemingly insatiable growth-wise, and CLS is the base of all of this, okay? We love Nvidia, we love AMD. Well, we love Nvidia a little more than AMD right now, personally, but that's always a little competition between them. In Nvidia investing in OpenAI and in Intel is sort of a slight against AMD, in my opinion. But here's the deal. CLS does have this partnership, okay, with Broadcom, another chip company that's in the same mix with Nvidia, AMD. CRDO is another one. ASML is another one, okay? But it has to be this move that's the most relevant. Broadcom is tailing off a little bit right now, but I do think CLS does look like it's kind of separating from Broadcom. And it's not surprising that they're implicated with another slow mover, IBM. IBM arguably the actual leader in quantum chips as opposed to these sort of revenue-less hype machines. But we're not going to get too theatrical here with the commentary. Here's the chart. If I didn't know anything about this company and what they do, the chart looks great, okay? Then what we do is we layer on, is there a reason that the chart looks so good? And I think it has to be, besides the, of course, billions in revenue that are expected from a company of this size, is the connection to the hottest company in the world, okay? And that connection comes with CLS's collab with Broadcom. So it's not a direct connection, but this is the big news. Broadcom 10 billion chip supply deal with OpenAI. And that basically made CLS critical to the AI infrastructure that OpenAI is planning to just devour over the next 5 to 10 years. So this was in September 25, their custom chip. There's another custom chip company, GROQ, not to be confused with GROK, xAI's Grok LLM model. GROQ is sort of a spin-off of a Google TPU tensor processing unit leader, I guess, engineer. So it's not surprising that Broadcom and OpenAI wants a little bit of competitive advantage against Google and against any spin-offs that might exist, like Grok. They want an XPU, not a TPU. It's an XPU. And it looks like they're going to be using TSM as well. And CLS is going to be the component provider for a lot of these $10 billion in orders. Do I know exactly what's happening with this Broadcom-OpenAI deal? No, I don't. But I do know that the stock went up significantly when that happened. And that's when it happened. And it hasn't gone down since then. In fact, it looks like it's going to go up even more. So that's a little bit of the value case, a little bit of the technical case. Well, a lot of it of the technical case, because that's basically the best picture of what's actually happening, not what people say is happening. But if you like this sort of analysis, if you like getting a good picture of the next stock to buy that is likely to go up, in my opinion, head over to stockscommunity.com. You can try it out for $25 for 7 days. There's worse ways to spend $25. I've certainly spent $25 on a burger and fries. So, yeah, see if it's worth it. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that button. You'll get notified of new videos. See what else comes out. Could be some bigger companies like this one as we just come out of a really hot period.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 This is Sam Putnam.